Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Eritrean president today received a senior UN official who is special envoy for Sudan. What was this UN special envoy for Sudan doing in Eritrea? Secondly, Taye Dandea, former Ethiopian Minister of Peace, was charged today, formally charged. He was arrested in December last year after he published a very provocative and strong message against Ethiopian PM Abiy. After that, he was arrested, and now official formal charges have been filed against Dandea. What are these formal charges? Any truth in these charges? First of yours, UN Secretary General's Special Envoy for Sudan visited Eritrea today. Ramtane Lamamra. Ramtane Lamamra is his name, and he visited Eritrea today. He met with Isaias Afwerki, Eritrean president, who welcomed him at State Guest House. The Foreign Minister Usman Saleh was also there. So why did UN Secretary General's Special Envoy visit Eritrea? He is Special Envoy for Sudan. His task is that he should work to resolve the conflict in Sudan. His visit is a confirmation of Eritrean role, Eritrean significance in Sudan. Eritrea is one of the players in Sudan. It backs some groups in Sudan. It shares border with Sudan. And Eritrea has been training some Sudanese groups on its soil. When Isaias Afwerki and the UN Special Envoy for Sudan met after that, Eritrean government issued a statement. And interestingly, Eritrean government is backing UN efforts for a peaceful solution to the conflict in Sudan. Eritrea has been trying to involve Egypt and some other countries to mediate between RSF and Sudanese military, or to find a solution acceptable to parties in Sudan. We've seen several initiatives and platforms to put an end to the war in Sudan. Talks held in Jeddah, talks held in Chad, talks held in Egypt, attended by Eritrea as well, talks held in Ethiopia too. IGAD is also working. IGAD formed a committee rejected by Sudanese military. Saudi Arabia and US are leading efforts through talks in Jeddah, several rounds held there. So several platforms and initiatives have been seen in recent months to put an end to the war, but nothing worked so far. Isaias Afwerki's government today backed UN. His government now says that Eritrea backs UN-backed initiative and platform to take all the parties, all the initiatives on board, so that there could be just one platform to find a solution to the conflict in Sudan. It's a very interesting statement. Eritrea, which has been very critical of the UN, seems to be backing UN in Sudan if UN is able to bring all the parties to the table for talks in Sudan. Secondly, the Eritrean government criticized the infiltration of finance and weapons into Sudan from neighboring countries. Without naming the neighboring countries, Eritrea seems to be criticizing Chad here. We know that UAE, United Arab Emirates, is supplying weapons to the Rapid Support Forces through Chad. Everyone knows that. I think Sudan filed a formal complaint against the UAE with UN Security Council. UAE dismissed this position of Sudanese government, saying it was not part of the war in Sudan. But the official position of Sudan military is that the UAE is supporting RSF, and which is true, by the way. It has been happening since the start of this war. So, and we know that Eritrean government is pro Al Burhan. It is anti RSF. That is why the government today asked UN to ensure that no one from outside sends weapons and money into Sudan. Let's see. It's a very interesting change, I would say, in Eritrean position. Eritrea and Egypt tried to lead an initiative to put an end to the war, but both are pro Abdul Fattah al Burhan's military. That is why they could not find acceptability with the other party. Almost all initiatives are not balanced. They either support Burhan or they support RSF. There is need for some neutral initiative to find an end to this crisis. And that is why Eritrea seems to be backing you. By the way, Eritrea has been opposing foreign intervention in Sudan. It has been saying that only Sudanese can find a solution to the conflict in Sudan. Now Eritrea is backing UN to find a solution here. So it's a change in Eritrean position. Eritrea, when the war broke out in Sudan, said it was neutral. Then it intervened. It started supporting Al Burhan, and now it wants UN to intervene, and it is behind the United Nations. Secondly, viewers, Taye Dandea, Ethiopian Foreign Minister of Peace, was charged formally today. Prosecutors filed charges against him. It was December 2023 when Taye Dandea was arrested after he posted a message against Ethiopian PM Abiy, accusing him of killing innocent people, accusing him of destroying the country by waging wars, accusing him of all the destruction in the country. And then obviously he was calling for the reaction. Everyone knows PM Abiy does not tolerate criticism. He was arrested. Then he was arrested, and when he was arrested, security forces claim that from his house an OLA member was arrested too, and some weapons were shown as if they were captured from his house. OLF's flag was also shown as if he was supporting Oromo Liberation Army. Taye Dandea, Hangasa Ibrahim have been very outspoken criticizing Oromia regional government, Ethiopian federal government, accusing the government of being involved in civilian killings in the Oromia region. And they have been accusing the government that government was blaming the killings on the Oromo Liberation Army. Both are seen as pro-Ola, but we cannot say that they were backing Oromo Liberation Army. Now, the state prosecutors have filed formal charges against Taye Dandea. The formal charges include his alleged support for anti-peace forces. So it is being claimed that Taye Dandea was supporting the Oromo Liberation Army. Though the man criticized Oromia government several times in his tweets and statements, but he was never criticized. He was never accused of being backed by the Oromo Liberation Army. The day he criticized the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, he became anti-government and pro-Oromo Liberation Army. Secondly, the state prosecutors say that weapons have been captured from his house. Illegal possession of weapons and support for armed groups are the formal charges against Taye Dandea. Obviously, charges were made up. Everyone knew that when weapons were shown, recovered from his house, and Ola flag was shown, it was planned, it was false flag activity just to implicate the minister. A day before his arrest, he criticized the prime minister. So would you imagine that he would be storing weapons at his house and giving shelter to Ola member a day after his criticism of the prime minister? It does not make sense. So that is how security forces operate in Ethiopia. And now he'll have to face these charges. He's still in prison. Will he be released? I don't think so. He can only be released if there is some sort of reconciliation between the politician from Romania PP and the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. Thank you for watching.